2023 has to have been one of the best years for games. We had tons and tons of new releases every other week. I couldn't even keep up with them. I pretty much played a different game every month, some new and some that had been in my backlog for way too long. So today, I want to talk about every game that I played in 2023. Ironically, I'm gonna start off with a game that's over 10 years old.
That's nuts!
I hate to start off negatively, but the first game that I played this year was Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. I technically finished it on New Year's Day. The Kingdom Hearts series is one of my favorites, but this game is easily one of the weakest in the series. For starters, the combat feels like a downgrade from what we had in Birth by Sleep. Most of the attacks you get in this game don't feel impactful, but the ones that do feel downright broken. Everyone that has played this game before knows that all you need to do is use the balloon spell during every fight to automatically win. Something else I disliked about this game are the spirits. Spirits are your companions in this game and they're fairly cute, but why do I have to play a pet simulator in order to unlock basic abilities? But I guess if I had to mention something that I liked about this game, it's probably the traversal. Flow motion is a fun way to get around, I guess, but it ironically feels like both overkill and underused. It's absolutely necessary for getting around these ginormous worlds, but I almost never felt the need to use flow motion during combat. I do think it feels much better in Kingdom Hearts 3 though. Something else I like is how you can switch between Sora and Riku, but this again has its drawbacks. You have to play through each world twice, and worst of all, sometimes the game will force you to switch to the other character even while you're fighting bosses. It's a mess. Speaking of mess, this story is the messiest it's ever been, with talks of time travel, sleeping worlds, and masters. I wouldn't recommend this game to any newcomers for that reason alone, but if you're interested in the series, I'd recommend starting with the first game.
Flipendo!
I guess since we're going chronologically, it's time to talk about my most anticipated game ever, Hogwarts Legacy. If you look at my most recent videos, it's obvious that I'm a fan of the Harry Potter games, and I can't put into words how excited I was when this game was leaked back in 2018. I waited patiently for 5 long years, jumping for joy every time new info was revealed. This game finally released in early February of this year, and I was there day one. Did it live up to the hype? Sorta. The world is absolutely beautiful and lively, the combat is a lot of fun, and the traversal is fucking awesome. Only drawback for me was the story. I could honestly not bring myself to care that much about Ranrock and his Goblin Rebellion, and I think some of the side quests were far more interesting than the main story, especially Sebastian's. Going back to the combat though, I would describe it as easy to learn but hard to master. I don't want to say too much now because I do plan on making its own dedicated video someday, but I would absolutely recommend Hogwarts Legacy to all Harry Potter fans.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
What can I say about this game that hasn't already been said before? The OG Resident Evil 4 was already one of the best games ever made, and somehow this remake came out even better. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you already know how good RE4 is, whether you've played it or not. But if you haven't, please do yourself a favor and pick this game up. It's constantly on sale and it's got a lot of content to keep you busy for a long time. It has a 15-hour campaign, a DLC which is also about 8 hours long, and the Mercenaries, which is an arcade horde mode. The game is endless fun with the perfect blend of horror, action, and just the right amount of cheese. It even got a VR mode recently, which leads us perfectly into our next game.
Hey! Aka!
Yeah, my ass can't afford a $600 VR headset, but thankfully we have Resident Evil 4 VR at home. This game was exclusive to the Oculus Quest, and wow, I never thought I needed RE4 in VR. It's hard to put into words, but this was just fun. My girlfriend and I spent like an hour solely on the training room because the guns were just so much fun to use, and that's without bringing up the whole campaign. Yeah, the entirety of the original RE4 was transformed into VR and it works perfectly. Every attack you dodge and every bullet you shoot just makes you feel like a badass. If you have an Oculus headset, please give this game a shot. So far, it's the best VR game I have ever played. The only thing that I have more nostalgia for than the Harry Potter games is Harvest Moon. But this isn't Harvest Moon. This is Story of Seasons. Completely different, right? Well, not quite. Without getting too into it, the old Harvest Moon games you and I grew up playing had their names changed to Story of Seasons due to various legal reasons, and the new Harvest Moon games are imposters. Purely cash grabs with the sole purpose of confusing the customers. This game is a remake of Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life, and man, I spent a lot of time on this. If you're not familiar with the series, it's pretty much a comfy game where you inherit a farm from your deceased father. From here, you have to build up the farm while managing to befriend the locals and even starting a family. This game in particular is more focused on the characters. The months are shorter, but the villagers are way more fleshed out. Same with your family. You'll see your child grow up while you and your spouse grow older. If you're at all interested in these types of games or you're nostalgic for the GameCube original, I urge you to try this game out. You'll spend lots and lots of hours on it. Another of my most anticipated games was Spider-Man 2. I absolutely loved the previous games and was super excited for this one. I ended up getting the deluxe edition that included the mythical 19 inches of Venom. This game was fucking amazing from start to finish. Firstly, the city got a massive upgrade, with the map doubling in size to include Queens and Brooklyn. Not to mention how every inch of the city is absolutely lively. There's tons of people doing their own thing, and the traffic is almost as bad as the real traffic in New York City. The combat is also more of the same, but this time we get 2 playable Spider-Men, each with their own gadgets and abilities. I also noticed enemies come in larger quantities, so you're absolutely gonna need to use every one of your abilities. If you're at all a Spider-Man fan or want to see what the PS5 is capable of, I would absolutely recommend Spider-Man 2. Honestly, after getting the Platinum, I think Spider-Man 2 is my favorite superhero game.
Start pounding, Joker.
After playing this game, I think Gotham Knights is my least favorite superhero game. This game is just a mess. The story follows Robin, Batgirl, Red Hood, and Nightwing as they have to protect Gotham after the death of Batman. This concept has so much potential, but the execution is lacking. The game can be completely played in co-op, or at least it's supposed to. This game just didn't want to work. There were constant crashes, disconnects, and frame drops that made the whole experience sluggish. Not to mention how the combat is just not impactful. It feels like every enemy is a tank. You also get this big city to explore, but it takes forever to get around. You can grapple around, glide super short distances, or you can take your bike, which again, just feels slow. I'll probably revisit this game at some point to see if my thoughts change, but I cannot recommend this game at all.
Fortnite has changed.
I have a confession to make. I like Fortnite. No, hold on. Hear me out, okay? I understand that the reputation of this game has been kinda tainted by the overly young fanbase, but there's good reason for that. Fortnite is just really fun. Fortnite does not take itself serious at all, and that's the beauty of it. You can have popular characters doing dumb TikTok dances, but at the end of the day, you and your friends are gonna have some of the most intense fights out of any game, and that's just the Battle Royale mode. The game was recently updated to include brand new modes, and they're all fleshed out. The first one is Rocket Racing. It's a standard racing mode where you'll end up flying around and sticking to surfaces. Next is Fortnite Festival. This is just straight up Rock Band, made by the same developers too. You and your friends will pick up different instruments in a rhythm game that includes popular songs. The most popular of the bunch is LEGO Fortnite. It's a survival game similar to Minecraft where you'll build, fight monsters, and create whatever your heart desires. With all these new modes, Fortnite has been keeping me busy and I don't see myself getting tired of it anytime soon.
I don't ever get mad on this game, but you have less healing than a fucking mini health pack!
The other live service game I played too much of this year was Overwatch 2. Man, I'm sad to say it, but Overwatch has really fallen from grace. I've been playing Overwatch on and off since the beginning and it was at one point one of the most fun games I had ever played. But unfortunately, the myriad of updates really harmed this game to the point where it's hard to blame one specific inclusion. For starters, this game now offers an in-game shop along with a battle pass, which is fine if done right, but these prices can get super stingy. $25 for a single skin in a first-person game is kinda insane, but it's not necessary to pay money in order to play the game, right? Technically no, but you'll be at a disadvantage. There's lots of characters that are locked behind the paywall, but in a game about countering your opponent, this can pretty much be an automatic loss for your team. I'll be honest and say that I'm not that good at the game, but anyone can tell you that there are always balance issues where certain characters will be noticeably stronger than the rest and sometimes unkillable if played right. But unfortunately, the biggest issue for me is the community. Can't go a game without seeing people arguing like a divorced couple, and if at any point you make a mistake, you better believe that your teammates will be ready to tell you how much of a bad player you are.
Why am I not getting healed right there? There's a Sojourner Genji and a Doom! Okay, I didn't know that.
And this is just the competitive side. I don't even want to think about the campaign that was promised for years only for it to be revealed that it was never actually happening. I think I'm gonna stay away from Overwatch for a while, at least until it makes noticeable improvements. I'm gonna be honest, I did not have high expectations for Tears of the Kingdom. Nintendo remained dead silent since its announcement back in 2019, all the way to about a month before the game's release. But man, was I wrong. This is one of the most impressive open worlds we've ever seen. Every corner of this world has something to explore and every quest provides a new adventure. This is an impressive sequel. We get the same Hyrule but doubled in size to include both the Sky Islands along with the underground. If you own a Switch, please just do yourself a favor and pick up Tears of the Kingdom. You won't regret it. Now, I want to give shoutouts to other games that I played this year, but I don't have too much to say about them. I told y'all that I love Harvest Moon and this is the purest form of the game. I haven't gotten too far into it, but I'm having a ton of fun. Also, this game was brought back to the PlayStation Store for both PS4 and PS5. God damn this game. It's a simple VR workout game that tries to be a personal trainer of sorts. It's stupid how it requires a subscription to play, and my dumbass started a free trial that I forgot to cancel, and I've been paying for it for the past 6 months. Played this on PS5 and had a blast. It's a fun action game with equally fun characters and amazing action sequences. I'm hoping to play Lost Legacy soon. This has to be one of the best comeback stories in history. Cyberpunk started off as a broken mess, but somehow became one of the most respected games around. Wasn't expecting to play this much, but ended up spending a lot of time on it. Unfortunately, the game seems to be dying. I don't really see people playing it or talking about it anymore. Here's some quick GUYI lore for you. I used to play this a lot as a kid until it started to give me nightmares. Apparently, I used to scream in my sleep on days that I played too much Quake. Anyways, the game is a lot of fun. It recently got remastered on all systems. I want to finish off this list with the game that brought me both the biggest laughs and the loudest screams. Lethal Company has been taking the internet by storm and for all the right reasons. The game involves you and your friends traveling from planet to planet looking for anything of value in order to satisfy the company. Unfortunately, these planets are home to some of the biggest horrors you'll ever come across in any video game. There's giant spiders, killer goo, stalkers that sneak up behind you and snap your neck, landmines, turrets, and God knows what else. And that's just the regular game. There's a vast amount of mods available for this game that turn these haunted houses into comedy shows.
When I was down, you ain't get the picture, but now I'm up, you jump in the frame. You funny stand-up comedian, and it's Montclair's another bohemian. Your shorty bad, but she not obedient. Me and her mix like we was in.
It's insane how all of this came from a single developer. As of now, this game is only available on Steam, but if you have the means, please do yourself a favor and play this with your friends. There's an endless amount of fun to be had. 2023 was absolutely amazing for games, and hopefully next year is somehow better. But what do you think of my list? Do you agree with my thoughts? And from the games that I missed, which one do I have to play? Thanks for watching and see you soon.
Nice fight, boy!